Good day, learners. I am Richmond Mensah and I am going to be your facilitator for today. And today's topic for discussion is morphemes. So I'll first ask, what is a morpheme? And by the end of the lesson, every learner will be able to understand and define morphemes, know the types and give good examples, and moreover, differentiate between the various morphemes that we have. So as I first asked, what is a morpheme? A morpheme is the smallest meaningful grammatical unit in a language. When we say it's the smallest, it means that it cannot be broken down into further units. And a morpheme may be a word, may not be a word, but a word may be a morpheme. We should know that very well. That a morpheme may not be a word, but a word may be a morpheme. And the main difference between them is that a morpheme sometimes does not stand alone, but a word by definition always stands alone. Examples of morphemes, there are so many examples, so you can think of some, but I'll give you stop, cut, if, teach, work, possible, some, and many others. Moving on, we'll go to the types of morphemes. And there we have two types. That's the free morpheme and the bound morpheme. And a free morpheme is a kind of morpheme which can stand on its own, which means that it does not need anything to make meaning. And such examples are teach, stop, work, come, moon, brown. See, all these words makes meaning on their own. Bound morpheme is a kind of morpheme which cannot stand on its own unless it is attached to a free morpheme. And you see, as it is self-explanatory, bound morpheme always needs a free morpheme before it makes any meaning. And examples are teacher, where teach is a free morpheme, and the ER added to teach is a bound morpheme. When the ER stands alone, it does not make any meaning. Impossible, where M is a bound morpheme, and possible is a free morpheme. When M stands alone, it does not make any meaning. And we should also know that some words has two morphemes, and most of these words are verbs. Most of these words are verbs. Examples are sang, were, returned, and others. When you take sang, you see we have the sing, which is in the present tense, and the past tense added to it makes it sound. And it has two morphemes. That's the sing plus the past tense marker. Moving on, we go to the types of free morphemes. We have two types. That's the lexical and grammatical or functional morpheme. The lexical morpheme is a morpheme that carries meaning on its own. It means that they usually carry the dictionary meaning. Examples are sit, go, man, come, happy, slow, teach, dog, farm, and many others. You can give so many examples, and I want each and every one of you to give at least 5 examples, which I will be inspecting after this lesson. Moving on, we go to the functional or grammatical morphemes. And with these morphemes, they only play grammatical functions. And examples are wow, because, me, and. These morphemes, they can only be used in context to make meaning. Moving forward, we'll go to the difference between lexical and functional or grammatical morphemes. The first difference between them is that the lexical morphemes the first difference between them is that the lexical morphemes make meaning even when they are not used in context. But with the grammatical morphemes, they can be used only in context, as we saw from our examples above. Our next difference is that the lexical morphemes belong to the major word class, and the grammatical or functional morphemes belong to the minor word class. And in our next lesson, we'll be treating word classes. So when we get there, I'll further elaborate. Moving on, let's go to the types of bound morphemes. In the bound morpheme, we have the inflectional morphemes and the derivational morphemes. And with the inflectional morphemes, they are morphemes that are added to the stem but does not change the word class of a given word. When we take a word like boy, S added to boy become boys, which still maintains its word class as a noun. It, ing added to it becomes eating, which still maintains its word class as a verb. S added to teachers becomes teachers, which still maintain its word class as a noun. We go to the derivational morpheme, and with this morpheme, it's a morpheme that is added to the base morpheme to change its word class. And these morphemes may be a prefix or a suffix. They may be a prefix or a suffix. That's the derivational morphemes. And examples are boy. Ish added to boy becomes boyish, which moves from a noun to an adjective. Teacher is a noun. Er added to teach, which is a noun, is a verb, becomes teacher. And it has changed this word class. When we take beautiful, for instance, beautiful is a noun. Full added to beauty becomes an adjective. Thank you very much for cooperating in this lesson. And I'm taking your questions